So, why are cats awesome? How cats saved my life. When I was deep in my mess, right? I uh, I had went and got a kitten. It'd been years since I'd had an animal. My last animal was Sadie, a dog, and she passed away, and didn't really have the desire. But this opportunity presented itself one time. A friend, acquaintance, had some cats, and they were primarily uh, black cats. Um, and I asked the person. I said, "You got a female in there?" I guess they don't. I don't know if you can tell when they're kittens, but either way, it turned out being a female. And I took the kitty cat home, named her Midnight. I loved that cat, man. That cat was a lifesaver. She come to me in a time of my life where I started losing the grip on reality. I started not being able to bond with humans very well, and I'm still struggling with that. But like, I could bond with her. And the thing, if anybody knows about a cat doesn't show affection the way a dog does. A dog's good at being man's best friend and giving him affirmation and positivity. You know, a cat, you have to work for their affection. Um, so that's the kind of like, didn't blow my head up, but like was a friend. And Midnight was a crazy cat. Like, she would follow me to the store, stay behind me and walk. And this is about, I mean, it's about a quarter mile, maybe a little over that. And she would follow me all the way to the store, meowing behind me every now and then, there and back. She had attitude, like when a friend would come over and try to pet her, and if she wasn't feeling it, she'd light into them. She didn't trust everybody. She would trust me. There was a couple times she'd swing at me, but like usually she didn't. Um, she she would catch wild animals. Like we had in Tennessee, you leave your doors and windows open a lot during the summer, let breezes in, and we had a screen in our window with a little hole in it, and she would jump up in that window and have a bird in her mouth a few times. She ended up falling in love with a cat across the street and getting pregnant. If I'd have been more responsible, I'd have had her fixed when she's young. Because when you have them fixed when they're older, they hold it against you where she did. This cat was smart. She held it against me. Like she would, after that, she would not let me pick her up again. It was very hard for me to get over to pick her up. She knew it. She never trusted me fully again. And if you know anything with family, you love them, but eventually they're going to cross you to where you don't trust them. But she ended up having some kittens, and the first one I gave away. Then there was like 5 or something like that. I ended up keeping 2 of them and giving 3 away. And there were 3 black. Almost all that Fuzzy I gave away. He was a thick furred cat, but they all were primarily black. The first one that she had was black and white, and that's the first time I'd ever see a cat have a kitten like in my house. And watch how protective they are. She picked the cat up in her mouth and we had the underneath the sink, the doors open, and made her a little spot in there with a old towel, and she picked that thing up because she got out of there while she was in labor, freaking out, I guess, and then put it up in there, the kitten. And but I ended up giving that one to a close friend at the time, and the other 2 I gave to a close friend. But I kept Rudy, which he was like a tomcat. He's kind of like the gray one you see around here, but I got on video. But I'm trying to get the actual tomcat, not the one with the collar you see, but the tomcat. He's gray, like big gray one, and he's got that look. But this is how Rudy was. Loved him, but he was kind of a loner. But Lucy was kind of like the little bitty black one you see around here, just the same cat, same exact cat. Um, she would, I'd be on the couch, right, sitting there, just sitting back. She would come up and plop herself backwards like a baby on my arm, my shoulder, and like I fell in love with that, man. I fell in love with that. Um, but I should have been more responsible. Got midnight neutered earlier. I think she ended up having another. No, she didn't. That was the neighbor's cat. But that's the thing. They reproduce fast. 4 or 5 months, they're having another litter if you don't get them fixed. And I ended up in my mess having to give them away and coming to Florida, and I regret it. But like I had to save my life. But this is a good story. They saved mine, man. They were in my life in a time where human beings just could not be close to me. And that's the beauty of cats, man. Like, that's why we bond with them. That's why you bond with dogs and animals and humans, because they end up being there for you when there's a disconnection with other humans. So if you have a cat, you're awesome. If not, you're awesome. But I just wanted to let you know where I stand with cats. I miss them every day. But I'm sure somewhere in that animal head of theirs, they understand. You know what I mean? Because God had a bigger plan for me to live. And they were just the awesome creatures along the way, you know. Just like our friends in and out of addiction. He's put new people in my life, and the old ones, they're gonna be okay. You know, they're living life too, animals and humans. But you guys stay blessed, and we'll see you again in the next one. Take care.